Shawn. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hi, this is Indy. I was calling because, I want to ask you a question. Do you see yourself as one of those 5 descriptors? I mean, do you see yourself as one of those? And if you do, which one would you consider yourself to be?
Indy, at one point in my life, I did. And that's why I say it's based on self-esteem. Because at one point in my life, I saw myself as the person who thought I had to hang around girls who had less going on or whatever than I did because they made me look good. And I don't know if I'm conveying my thoughts the way I'm thinking, what's coming to mind, but I was that person at one time until I learned to love me. And when I learned to love me, it was easier for me to let go of all of that negativity, because I had a self-hatred, and I didn't know where it was stemming from. So at one point in my life, yes, I was that sister. I was all 5 of those. I mean, I could relate.
Wow. Yeah, what did you do for the ladies that's listening, and even for myself? What did you do to help relieve you from those descriptors? What did you do? I mean, any pointers, anything that you practice, anything?
I had to tear down every aspect of myself, of my mental. My mentality. I had to just come back to ground zero, and I had to start over. I mean, from the positive and the negative. I had to evaluate why people were saying this to me, why was this said to me, and why was I taking it this way, and I had to dissect every piece of information, everything about myself, and learn me, and learn how to love me, and know that, no, I'm not perfect, and I don't profess to be perfect in no means, but I had to realize that I was like, okay, I'm going to make mistakes, and so I need to allow my sister to make mistakes too, because that's another thing. When we're intolerant of mistakes in ourselves, we're less tolerant of them in our sisters, and it was really hard for me. I mean, I'm not there yet, but I'm a work in progress. I'm still growing, but that's what I had to do. I had to take a real serious look at myself and just sit down and say, that's not who I want to be. And then in some instances, I mean, I'm going to be real, it took other people to say, look at you, this is not you. You're not this person that I'm seeing, so why are you behaving like this? Why are you doing this? Why are you saying that? Because I know that's not you. And it took somebody to put that mirror in front of me and let me see the ugliness that I had going on in order to try to change it. And that was the first step for me. I mean, I'm not there, like I said. I'm still climbing.
Right. Yeah, I understand. Wow, that was beautiful, though. You're definitely right. But, okay, that was the end of my questioning. But thank you.
That's amazing. I'm just so glad that you were willing to even be honest that way and share and say that and say I was that person and that you at some point. Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 40.
40. So tell me, what age did you come into the realization that I don't have to be that person anymore?
Wow. I would have to say, because I have a 16-year-old and I have a 14-year-old, and they're both girls. And when you see them following in your footsteps, and even though a lot of the ugliness that I lived, they were shielded from. They think mommy is the bomb. Mommy doesn't do all of this. Mommy doesn't talk crazy. Mommy doesn't cuss people out. Mommy, but when I saw some of my characteristics coming out in them and they're interacting with each other and with other people, I was like, no, this is not what I want to show them, because some of it I believe it's born, and then some of it I think that they pick up on even if they don't see it. And I guess around the ages when I was in my 20s, and then more so in my 30s, when you have those landmark years and when you start to realize you're not going to be here forever, and it's things that you see around you and you're like, no, this is not, I might have found the world like this, but this is not how I want to leave it, and if I'm leaving it to my girls, I want them to be proud of me. And I guess other things too, poems, little things that my girls write to me and they say, and I'm like, is that me? I can't be that superwoman. You just wrote about a woman I don't even know, and just wanting to live up to those expectations that everyone else has for you and knowing that you can do it. But I don't know. I mean, I have so many thoughts in my head. I'm sorry.
No, just take your time. Take your time and say what you need to say.
But I mean, I guess it wasn't just like an aha moment. It was like steps. Okay, today I'm waking up to this. And every time you proclaim that you've killed a giant, oh, you better believe there are 3 more behind that giant to come and face you. Because when I started working on things in my personality, oh, baby, they came at me. Giants came at me every day, testing it. And I'm still being tested. And it gives me a proud feeling to know that I didn't act negatively, And I always tell people, when you have a negative thought or anything about yourself, about anyone else, try to turn it into 2 positives, and try to find that. Because the hardest thing for me, I could tell you I love you all day long, but the hardest thing for me was to say, Shawn, I love you. And that, the first time I said it, it made me cry.
Wow.
And to say, Shawn, I forgive you.
Right.
That took a lot. I forgive you for everything that you put me through. And in order for me to forgive anyone else, I had to forgive myself first. And I also had to take ownership in my part of the pain that I caused people. And I haven't just gone through the bucket list or gone through the list of all the people that I need to apologize for whatever in my life, but I feel like if I can leave a legacy in someone else's life, if I could touch someone else, then maybe that's what God, maybe that's what God put me here for, what the Creator put me here for, because I know I can't right all my wrongs. But if I can deter someone else from taking the wrong path or going the way I did, making the same stupid mistakes that I made, because now I look back and I'm like, was it worth it? And that, I guess that's just part of my journey, because I feel like I'm still traveling. I haven't made it there.
All right, we all are. Shawn, that was so touching, so touching. I'm so glad that you even felt, like you wanted to share that I am honored by your being willing to open up and express yourself that way, so, openly, and just exposing yourself.
I just want to say that I thank all of you, because if it had not been for the group, for everyone, and just the tough love, and Andy asking me, Shawn, why'd you say that? What do you mean by that? I'm like, oh, God, I got it. I don't know. It just opened myself up to another part of me that I didn't know existed, that I could be a sister, a mother, a friend on another level than what already exists in my life. And I appreciate all of you ladies. And it is all from my heart. And please, if anything I say offends anyone, don't take it the wrong way, because it is not intended that way.
I love it.
But I love you guys.
We love you too. We love you too, Shawn. Thank you.
Thank you. Definitely.